parts of the planet. Keep the fast standing. Red alert, red alert, red alert, yeah. Got the dirt on my soul, no grandstanding. No mask, not even if it's old dark 30s. Street made, even dirt roads, highway 30. 50, 40, 90, that'll get you 30. That's a clean sweep. Even
Welcome to Red Alert Houston Rockets Zone. I'm Hope Champion. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and drop Clutch City in the comments. And lock in to hear Daily Rockets talk.
Okay, mic check, mic check. All right. As usual, we having a little technical difficulty to start off the show with this. All right, we're gonna get into it. This here is Houston Rockets Red Alert. Uncut, unfiltered, untapped. Better know what you heard. And let's get ready to sound the alarm. So today our Houston Rockets are going to face off against the Detroit Pistons. Let me get situated. All right, look, we're gonna face off against the Detroit Pistons today, and tonight is the night that I'm going to view tonight as our actual real first test. I kind of think the last game was a it was kind of a warm up, a rehearsal, an actual first dress rehearsal, just to see what we got. And tonight's going to be a game where we should win this game, hands down. We're up against a team that's up and coming like we are. They have a up and coming superstar, and they have a nice core around them. You know, some of the same kind of talent that we have on our team. But with that being said, you know, we were a number 2 seed last year in the West. They were a 6th or 7th seed in the East. They got bounced a little bit later than we did. They made it a little bit farther than we did, but they also didn't go up against the the likes of the Babyface Assassin and the Golden State Warriors with the Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Draymond Green and Mr. Playoff Jimmy Buckets himself. So what does that mean? That means that KD is going to be the determining factor tonight. That's important for the simple fact that they don't have a Kevin Durant. They don't have a Kevin Durant. They have an Alperen Sengun. And I don't mean that Cade Cunningham is Alperen's equal, but I mean as far as an up-and-coming star that we expect to do great things in this league, that will be an MVP candidate, you know, that would be in contention every year somewhere behind Victor Wembanyama, because obviously the world has crowned Victor Wembanyama as the MVP for the next 6 years already. But we have a guy that can be an MVP candidate. Detroit has a guy that can be an MVP candidate. So those two things that cancel out. Also, they have Amin Thompson's twin brother, who is very aggressive, you know, has said on occasion that he would beat Amin when they played, probably because he's a little bit strong, a little bit more rugged, and a lot less finesse. You know, just a hard-nosed player, as athletic, and you know, those two guys could cancel each other out. But what they don't have is an MVP a guy who's already won the MVP, a guy who's already won 2 championships, a guy who's already won scoring titles, a guy who's widely regarded as, you know, the best scorer that the we've seen since the merger of the NBA and Kevin Durant. So what we expect to see tonight is we expect to see a Houston Rockets team that's ready to compete against a team that they should beat. Period. Now, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the matchups, as they present themselves, which is going to be a great matchup between Amin Thompson and Cade Cunningham. That's going to be, listen, Amin has his work cut out for him this year. He's going to be the point guard. He's going to hit the snake defensively, and that's going to be an ongoing topic of conversation every single game. Amin Thompson getting no days off. Every time we play, it's going to be a guy with the ball in his hand that Amin is going to have to compete against. That, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We're expecting Amin to lock up people. You can't lock up guys at that position. Not those types, not those types of guys. Those ones that's him, those guys that do this for a living, that was bred in the lab to be point guards. You can't lock them up. If you come in weak side to help, yeah, that's one thing, and your defensive rate can go up you know, just from blitzing. But when you're sitting in a chair in front of a guy who's driving downhill right into your chest, looking to create some kind of contention in the defense to where he can open up something for his teammates, doesn't mind taking a shot, will go straight at you, will get straight to the rim, is a great passer, don't mind shooting a three, you're going to have your hands for it. And that's what is going to be up against tonight against the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham. Obviously, we know that Cade went first in the draft, that Jalen went second, and there was nowhere near the same, desire for Jalen that it was for Cade. Jalen has had a great career thus far, minus the playoffs last year, but Cade Cunningham is a different animal. He's going to be, competition for MVP a lot of times. You're going to hear his name as far as MVP talk over and over again, as long as he can stay healthy. Now he's had injury history, um, and that's going to be a big difference between where we see the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets, because our guys have injury history, but it hasn't lingered so much. So we have about 2 hours, hour and 40 minutes to just get into some nice Rockets talk right here. Let me see. Um, oh yeah, obviously we're gonna put Thompson on Cade. That's a definite. Shout out to Jerry TV in the chat. Um, yeah, obviously we're gonna put Thompson on Cade. That's VT. Where's VT? Where's Vermont? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. Um, are you a Rockets fan or Detroit fan? Are you just a basketball fan in general? So look, okay, Vermont. Shout out Vermont. Look, yeah, I'm just gonna be on Cade all night, all night, except when Reed is on him. Except when Reed is on him. And when Reed is in the game, hopefully Torrey has a better game than he had last time, and Torrey can be in the game and help Reed stick Cade, and Reed can shift over to whoever their shooting guard is. Unless I don't know who their shooting guard is. If it's somebody that's a post up guy, maybe Reed have a little more luck on a guy that's not moving coming downhill. But Reed is a serviceable defender. And that's another thing we're gonna talk about tonight. But right off the gate, I'm with you. Amin Thompson is gonna be on Cade Cunningham, trying to make it tough for him all night. Likewise, Cade is going to be on Amon all night, and that's going to be tough because Cade isn't known as a great defender like Amon is, and Amon's going to be going full speed. You know, he had a decent game against OKC, but guess what? He played against the MVP. Amon Thompson played against the greatest player in the world today, and he had an okay game. Guess what that means? He's going to come out on a mission. He's going to be on an absolute tear from the jump ball to the whistle sounds. And Amon Thompson is going to be relentless tonight, and Kay's going to have to deal with that. Trust me, I know the makeup of this guy. This guy is a dog. And I don't use the word dog lightly. When I say a guy's a dog, I mean like a pit bull. I don't mean like old yellow. You know what I mean? I mean like one of those ones that if they in a pit on and their skin is ripped up, they still gonna fight until they can't fight no more. And that's Amon Thompson. And after the game that he had, even though it was a good game, he had 4 turnovers. He missed a lot of threes. He's going to come out and try to make up for what he felt like he didn't do. Even though we in Houston felt like he did good, he's not going to be satisfied with that. He's not going to be comfortable with that. Um, you know, so I expect him not to rest on his laurels and to come out tonight and try to make a statement against a lesser defender. Maybe Beef Stew is going to hold Amon. Maybe we'll see some Beef Stew on Amon tonight. But if that's the case, it's gonna be trouble, because whoever has to pick up Amon is gonna leave open a absolute juggernaut in Kevin Durant tonight. Kevin Durant had 17.5. I don't know where the 0.5 came from. What up, Rich Bays? Salutes to you, Brody. Salutes to my boy Rich Bays, man. Kevin Durant is going to he had 17.5 for almost a quarter and a half against OKC. And I don't know how you get 0.5 points in an actual game, but he had 17.5 points, and I was watching like a hawk, like a sparrow. And we all assume that was because Kevin Durant was letting the guys, you know, get a feel for what they can do against the champs and not trying to carry the load or not trying to bail them out. You know, he was just playing within the confines of the offense. And that's cool. That's all cool. And that may be, but where you're calling from, what's your sit? Now listen, I get it. I get it. It's cool. You want to be, you want to fit in with the team. You know what I mean? You don't want to throw yourself into the phrase of the team and try to take over everything. But at the end of the day, this is what we're looking at. That was your game to do that. This is your game to where you're probably going to be the guy who has the best opportunity to score. Other than me, LP is going to be LP. I'm going to get to that in a little while. But I believe that when they switch, because either they have Armin and they have Beef Stew. They have 2 tough guys, tough as nails, concrete hands that's going to be trying to swipe and rip and block everything. But Kevin Durant's going to have the opportunity to get off. He's going to have the opportunity to get off, and he's going to have the opportunity to get off on somebody who's a good defender, and he's going to have some I'm expecting Ime to put Kevin Durant into more DHOs and pick and rolls than he did last game. We expect to see more of those kind of actions with with Amon and with LP. We're also expecting that those DHOs are going to lead to open passes, swing guys to guys like Jabari Smith. Kevin Durant's going to be asked to make those passes, but Kevin Durant's going to be asked to score more than 21, 22 points. That's just the fact of the matter. If he scores 22, 23 points, okay, cool. I'm not going to cry about it because we can win with that. But by the same token, I don't think it's a situation to where, if he does more, I would be surprised. Now, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop the link while we get into Alfred Shangoon. If anybody want to pop up, you can hop up here and talk to me, chop it up with me. But as we start to round off this conversation a little bit before I start getting into stats and whatnot, like I said the other night. Now I don't know if y'all heard the stream. It was a lot of technical stuff going on now because I'm developing the show and the platform or whatever. So you have to bear with me on the technical stuff. But our MVP faced off against the MVP of the league, and he dominated. Alperen Sengun outplayed Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Easy, easy, and nobody would have expected that. So if Kevin Durant decides to, um, if he decides to concede or, capitulate or whatever you want to call it, to Alperen being the guy and let Alperen get his bag, just he gonna let Alperen get his paper. All right, cool. Let him get his paper because Alp's gonna get his paper. I don't even know who they have at center over there. I don't know if it's Kelly Olynyk or Andrew Wiseman or whoever it is, or whoever it is they have over there at center. Um, I'm not sure, but they in for it. They literally in for it over there in Detroit because Alperen Sengun is on a mission. There's a couple of guys that's on a mission in the league, and Alp's one of them. And not just because he's on a mission to prove that he's good, but he has so much so much to show up for. He has to show up to let Kevin Durant know that you didn't make a bad decision. He has to show up to show that what he did in FIBA basketball wasn't a fluke. He has to show up to let Raphael Stone know that getting rid of Jalen Green, wasn't the worst move you could have made. Uh, you know, he has to show up for the fans in Houston. He has to show up for his family. He has to show up for the guys on the court, and he has to show up, you know, to let the guys that he's playing against know that when you play me, this is what you're up against. This is what you're up against. And last but not least, he has to show up because guys like Victor Wembanyama are going crazy in the league, and you don't want to be considered like the second hand big to a guy that you gave a 45-point triple double. Like the fact that people are saying, "Oh, Victor Wembanyama is this and that," and AP gave him 45 and 15 like a year ago, you know, that would upset anybody. That would upset anybody, and that's gonna make you have to come out. If he ball out, I'm gonna ball out. Now, Alfred Sengun's not a selfish player. He's not the kind of guy to where you're going to force him to do something that's outside of the realm of what the coach asked him to do. That if it's not in the confines of what the game requires. But by the same token, he's gonna be he's gonna be intentional about showing his value on the court and showing his skill level, showing what he can and cannot do. Which is not much he can't do. So maybe I misspoke. You know, maybe I misspoke. That's a Freudian slip. But Alper Shangon is, I think, the way other people play in the league is one of the reasons that Alp steps his game up. If he looks around the league and he see that guy is good, he wants to be as good as that guy. I want to not be considered less than that great person, and that's what drives the greats. The greats look around the league and they say, you know, you hear Gilbert Arenas and guys like that talk about, man, when I realized how Kobe was working out, I changed my workout. I changed when I was going to the gym. I changed, the amount of time I spent on my shooting because I saw that this guy was doing that, and I knew that if I was going to keep up, this is what I had to do. So that's one of the things that I think LP is going to deal with constantly as he is on his ascension and path to greatness. Okay, look, we have to talk about this, and I don't want to talk about this in a negative. I mean, I don't want to talk about this, just out of the context of what I'm actually going to say. But let's get into it a little bit. Reed Shepard is not playing bad, but Reed Shepard has shown glaring weaknesses early in his career, which mean which means that he's going to have to step up and constantly make those improvements from game to game, or it's going to be talking points. Remember how Fred VanVleet looked last year? And every time somebody spoke, they had to speak about how Fred VanVleet looked on the court. Because what you're talking about is what you see on the court, not in totality, but in a vacuum from that player. You're not really looking at Fred VanVleet and saying, yeah, but this, that, or that. You're looking at Fred VanVleet and saying when he got to the goal, he tried to shoot it, and there was like three people right there to block it because he's short. That's not his strong point. You're looking at Fred VanVleet and saying, when he's shooting the ball, he kind of chucking and he's shooting those shots, and we don't really know if he need to be shooting those shots when two guys trying to close out on him. You're looking at Fred VanVleet and saying, we have the lowest three-point shooting backcourt in the league. So you're looking at these guys in a vacuum, and you have to judge them based off of that vacuum. You're not looking at the fact and saying, yeah, but he's facilitating and he has a certain, gravity or je ne sais quoi to the way that he plays the game that affects the team and makes the team better, and leadership and blah, 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 blah. Reed Shepherd is in the same boat. Reed Shepherd is in the Fred VanVleet boat this year, to where we're looking at Reed Shepherd in a vacuum. And we're saying, hey, 59% three-point shooting, we need to see some of that. We need to see at least 40. We need to see at least 40% three-point shooting, especially when you're wide open, Brody. Especially when you're wide open, Brody. We can't have you out on the court. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say this again. We can't have you on the court for 2 quarters when we need shots and you don't take a shot. I know you don't want to be the reason that we lose, but you can't be the reason that we win if you don't take the shot when we need you to take the shot. So from the 4th quarter, I think when Armin got hurt to the end of the game, Reed might have took one shot. He might have took one mid-range shot. And like I said before, that's not why we brought you here. We didn't bring you here to take one shot. We brought you here because when we needed a bucket, when we need an open shot from 3, we need you to be able to take that shot. And you have to be willing to take the shot. You have to be willing to take that shot in the clutch moments as if you were, just starting out the game. You can't be a front runner like, okay, there's nothing on the line, I'll shoot it. I'll shoot it just to keep the defense honest. I'll shoot it. I'll take the shot because they're giving it to me, and I'm gonna shoot it just because. You have to be willing to say, we need this shot, I'm gonna make a shot. Not I'm gonna shoot it just to keep the defense honest. And that's what I saw in the game last night, that it was times where Reed Shepherd needed to shoot the ball. He flat out needed to shoot the ball, and he didn't really shoot the ball. Give me a minute. Give me one. Let me see. Give me 1 minute right here. Oh, okay. Let's see what I got. Oh, what you got? Oh, my day. Okay. Now, that's going to be a point that we have to pay attention to. The other thing that we're going to have to pay attention to is this. Tari Eason, and I have to mention this, as I'm gonna be the talk of I'm gonna be the talk of Houston, the Houston sphere, if I don't mention this, because it goes without saying that I'm a big Tari Eason fan, and it goes without saying that I have been on the record for saying that Tari Eason could definitely be a starter in this league and on this team. I said it. And what we saw the other night was not that. We did not see Tari Eason look like a starter on this team. He didn't look like he could be a starter on this team, and he didn't even look like he could be a starter in this league at all. At all. He actually looked like, and I just got to say what I saw. I mean, I got to say what I saw. He actually looked like a deer in headlights. He looked like the moment was too big for him. And the only reason that I could think of, and this is just, the assumption of speculation, He looked like that whatever the noise around the contract negotiations and stuff like that maybe affected his play. Maybe he felt embarrassed. Maybe he felt betrayed. Maybe he felt underappreciated. I don't know. I don't know. But basketball is like 80, 75, 80% confidence. And when that confidence ain't there, you could front like you have the confidence, or you could remember when you did have the confidence, but the confidence is gonna tell if you're getting, if you get the pat on your back that you need, and I'm not talking about hands pat on your back, I'm talking about pat on your back pockets. When somebody pats you on your back pockets like they supposed to, then your confidence goes up. But if you don't get that pat on your back, then you start to look around like, okay, how do I know that I'm being appreciated? Now, I've assumed that there was a conversation between um, Stone and Tari Eason, but here's what the report said: that Tari Eason got offered $100 million, $100 million, and there was problems between Tari Eason and his camp. 100 milli, a milli wop, a milli bag, and Tari Eason for some reason didn't want it. Was it the years? Was it the years? Was it the player option? What was it that made him say, I need more than 20 million? Was it the starting position? Was it that, look, I don't need the 20 million, I want the starting position? We don't know the intricacies of the negotiation, but what was reported, and I read it in an article, but Brian Windhurst also reported that Tari Eason was offered $100 million, which is over 5 years, which is $20 million a year, right? Um, that's crazy work. That's crazy work that he didn't take that money, and Jabbar's getting 25 mil. I think it was 4 years though, but that's a little bit different. But to make a long story short, I don't know if Tar is going to be here if that's the actual case. Um, if the actual case is that they offered him $100 million and he didn't take it because he felt like he needed more money, then Tar, you gone. You gone. Because no matter how good you play, bro, no matter how good you play, unless you outplay Amin Thompson himself, and outplay Kevin Durant himself, you're not getting over 100 million, bro. It would be outlandish. I mean, you actually have to outplay all the starters to to say you want over that. Over you want that the money that they offer you wasn't enough. You have to outplay Jabbar. You have to outplay Armin because your injury history doesn't, you know, it doesn't give. You're not giving that. You're not giving. I'm gonna be healthy and I'm gonna be better than everybody else. So tonight's going to be a big night for that. Let's see if Tari comes out. He's going to have duties on Cade Cunningham when Armin goes to the bench, and he's going to be required. He's going to be asked to stick him, get some turnovers, get some rebounds, get some steals, get some blocks, play fast, play with pace, score more than 3 points. I'm glad you hit your three, but we need you to hit your threes. We need you to play some D. We need the whole Tari experience. We need the whole Terry Twin experience because you turned down $100 million. And I need to see exactly what it is that you feel about yourself, and we need to see it. We need to see it. Don't let the moment be bigger than you. Don't let the moment be bigger than you. Don't let the pressure overweigh you. We need to see it on the court because at the end of the day, you're gonna be gone by the trade deadline if you turn down 100 million and you playing like you playing. Because I mean, we can play you for 5 million for the rest of the year. It don't hurt us to play you for 5 million because you still come off the bench and you'll still be Tar East and you'll still make people do different stuff just by being on the court. But at the end of the day, you know, we're not gonna pay you 100 million. We're not gonna match nobody's contract if you don't outplay the guys that's in front of you. I mean, that's just a simple fact. I mean, that's the way that's gonna line up. So that's my Tari Eason spiel. That's my Tari Eason spiel. And I hate that because I'm on the record for saying that this guy is a absolute, you know, anomaly. He's not one of the guys that you find often. He's not Corey Brewer. Corey Brewer's defense was never, you know, as disruptive as Tari Eason. Tari Eason is more like I want to say like he has the Ron Artest potential. He has the Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen potential. He has that kind of potential defensively. You know, not Trevor Ariza type potential. Corey Brewer was more like Trevor Ariza, Luke Baumute potential, or Robert Covington potential. But Rocco was good. All that being said, um, you know, and Jabbar and Jabbar. So what we found out about Jabbar is that while everybody else was shucking and jiving this year, Jabbar was taking it serious. Jabbar was not playing no games about getting himself to where he felt like he was the best he could be. And Jabbar has shown that he is absolutely ready for the moment. He is absolutely ready for the moment. And you can't be mad at that, man. You can't be mad at Jabbar no kind of way because at the end of the day, what Jabari is doing is nothing less than what we expected from a third overall pick. You know, he's had to overcome some bad games early in his career, and you know, some Rockets fans was out on Jabari as far as saying he was a bust, and he wasn't going to be able to live up to the position. I mean, the draft position and all that. But he's shown that you know he the truth. Jabari the truth. Jabari's playing good basketball, and I tell you this right here. I don't have the problem as much as some people do with Jabari bringing the ball up because at the end of the day, you got to keep the defense honest, and we doing it by committee. We doing this by committee. Everything we doing is almost like it has to be done. You know, everything we doing is like it has to be done. If Jabari don't get that rebound and push it up fast, the likelihood of it being a turnover is high. If he get the ball off the rim, he got to go with it. He got to get the ball off the rim and he got to go with it immediately because the as soon as you pass that ball to somebody, you open up that lane for somebody to come try to take it. That means you give the defense a chance to set in and what on and whatnot. And when you catch the ball off the rim and then you go ahead and push it up the court, it changes the tempo of the game, and it's just one of those things that you have to do if you want to be, you know, you got paid. It's part of your job. Just do it. Just do it and do it well. I mean, to me, it's not. It ain't all that. It ain't like It ain't like like people say, but I don't want to see Jabari doing this and that. Yeah, but uh, I do. I do. I want to see him doing it, and I want to see him do it well. I don't. I'm not letting you off the hook, Jabari, by saying I don't want to see you do it because it's not your first nature. I want it to be. If it's not your first nature, hey, it's your second nature. Cool. Second nature. We going with the second nature. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I'm not. I'm not sweating it. I'm not taking none of that. I don't want to see Jabari do it as part of my, ideology. I'm a staunch believer in you get the ball off the rim and you gotta go. That's just all it is to that. You understand what I'm saying? So, um, and I get why people are like, I don't want to see Jabari dribbling the ball because you're not used to him doing it well. But okay, cool. That's cool. We're not used to him doing it well. But if he's gonna do it and he's gonna do it well, then that's the old Jabbar. We talking about this year's Jabbar. We're not talking about what Jabbar could and couldn't do in the past. We talking about what he's doing right now. And right now, what he's doing is getting the ball off the rim getting into the flow of the offense and making the defense have to move. Making the defense have to move. And at the end of the day, that's what's important to the team. I don't have no problem with it. I don't have no problem with it. Okay. Let me see something right here. Okay. Boom. All right. Now, I'm gonna pull up some stats and then I can get into some of these statisticals. I can get into some of these statistical type joints right here. And let's see. I already kn- let me check my shout out Cedar Hill, Texas. You back, DeBorn? You was here last time, wasn't you? The burn on me. Yo, you was here last time, David Byrne. I ain't mean to call out your whole joint. All right. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Cedar Hill, Texas, man. Here we go. Okay. So I guess I can hear myself. All right. So let me pull up some of these stats. Let me pull up some of these stats. I had them already pulled up, but I had to close out some stuff because my stuff was buffing. It was Buffy the Vampire Slayer running around here, man. Oh man. Okay. Oh, cheese and rice. No way. Let's see. Okay, okay. Let's just go like this. Let's go. So tell me, who you think gonna win tonight? High points? Do you think Kevin Durant or Albert Shango gonna have the most points tonight? Me myself personally, I'm taking I mean obviously I think Albert Shango is gonna have the most points, but I think Kevin Durant could be right there with him. The Houston Rockets have a 68.4% probability to win the game tonight. 68.4% probability. That's crazy work, bro. That's crazy work. 68.4%. Let's see. And then there's another game coming on after that, but you know, who really, who really, who really knows what that's gonna be like? Houston at Detroit. Okay. Hmm. We get some. We get some. The Houston Rockets. Okay, let's see. Houston was 52-30 last year. 29-12 at home. They gave up 109 points. Committed 19 fouls last year. Detroit was 44 for 30 and 38 overall last year. They went 22-19 on the road. And the Pistons averaged 115.5 points per game while only allowing 113 points. So, what does that mean? That means Pistons score more than what the Rockets gave up. And the Rockets are going to have to hold them well below their average. Going to have to hold the Pistons well below their average. And let's see. Oh my days. Okay, hold on. Let me mute this right quick because I see it's gonna start messing up. Hold on, give me a second.
Every show needs a spark. Ours, you. Step into the spotlight for a one-on-one fire debate. Call out a take, defend your own or a beat and teach masterclass. Winners earn bragging rights and rewards. Email redalert.rocketzone@gmail.com to lock your spot or choose a topic from our board. Thanks for supporting the movement. Tap subscribe, drop a like, and if you want to buy us a coffee, Cash App, $26KG1. Every show needs a spark, and you are ours. Salute to you.
All right, hopefully I got that little buzzing fixed. I don't know. I don't know if it do that with my something going on with my phone or why it do that sometimes, but sometimes we just get that little crazy thing. Yeah, sure. I was making you. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, the last stream was going crazy. The last stream was going crazy. Look, what you hear in the background, boy? same, same thing. But see, that's real crime right there. That's I don't want to go to sleep crying on a Friday night. What you trying to stay up on a Friday night? Hey, Pistons just lost to the Bulls 2 days ago, and that was a really. Hey, look, it's been crazy basketball, man. This basketball season has started out like, I mean, if you're a basketball fan, this basketball season has been one of the most exciting first 3 days ever in basketball, bro. It's never been nothing like this. Think about it. LeBron is still in the league. Kevin Durant's still in the league. Steph Curry is still in the league. Joker is in the league. Joel Embiid is playing. Giannis is playing. And Wembanyama is in the league. And Cooper Flag is in the league. And oh my God. And LaMelo Ball is shooting off 1 foot. Every single person, bro, everything that you could imagine in a basketball season is happening right now, bro, in this league. For this week, I mean, I myself, actually, I could have OD'd. I could have. You ain't never seen nobody overdose on sports, bro. But I feel like I was gonna OD. Like it's another game. It's another game on. It's another game on. I'm in the bed, just dripping off my mouth. And I'm just watching game. I got the itch. I wake up in the morning. I'm itching. Like what game? Come on next. And I'm just going like. And when you like a diehard fan for one team, you kind of want to save your energy for that team. But it's so much basketball going on that it's just taking a lot out of me, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's taking so much out of me, but it hurts because you see these other players that's so good. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it tall with you, like King say. I'm gonna keep it tall. When I watch Victor Wembanyama play, sometimes it just make my stomach curl. I'm not even gonna hold you. It make my stomach curl, and I just see him do that little fist pump he did when we didn't when we didn't get that pick, and he did that little fist pump. And I just see it in my head, and I just snarl up my mouth, and my stomach just curl. And sometimes I go poop, and I just go in the bathroom and go poop. It just my my stomach just be hurting every time I see this dude. First of all, why is your tall ass doing a reverse layup? You doing a reverse layup or reverse layup dunk, bro? It don't even look right, bro. Just dunk the ball on the side of the goal you on. You had no business going underneath the basket to dunk the goal. That's just showing out, bro. That's just showing out. You could have dunked over that dude, but you gonna go underneath and cradle it and dunk on the opposite. You could have walked under. You could have walked under the goal and dunked it backwards. You didn't even have to jump. You didn't even have to jump to do that, bro. That was actually, that's just like them old folks used to say, that's showboating for the sake of showboating. We ain't need that, bro. We didn't need that at all. But I nah, it's been some good games. Pistons need to get K some legit help. Depending on him way too much to be a star. They need another star out there. No, but look, here's the thing. You're not gonna get stars to go to Detroit. That's not that. Detroit is a team that you have to. You have to have your star, and then you have to build up. You have to build up the team that matches your culture, and you have to just get them guys, build up your team that match your culture, and get the guys you want. Which is why. Which is why. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I see coming. Which is why I see a situation where Jaden Ivey and Tari Eason could be on the swippy swap. Jaden Ivey and Tari Eason could be on the switchy swap. One hurt dude for another hurt dude. Both of them dudes need to play. Um, both of them dudes need to play, and Tari Eason fits Detroit's. It fit Detroit culture. It fit Detroit culture, and I can see a scenario where Tari Eason goes to Detroit, and we get Jaden Ivey, and the handshake and all the fair and love and war. They get the better player. They get the better player, but we get somebody that we need. And I really like Jaden Ivey's game. I'm not gonna hold you. I like the way Jaden Ivey play. I like his speed. I love passing point guards. I'm not too thrilled. I haven't seen much from his defense. Obviously, he's been hurt for 4 not straight years. But as far as when he played, the flair and the passes and the basketball IQ and the speed, man, that would be nice on this team. That would be the perfect thing. The only reason I don't think that they would do it is because they try to protect Reed Shepard from not being able to get that starting spot. But you're gonna have to beat out somebody, bro. Reed Shepard gonna have to beat out somebody. You're not just gonna get gifted a spot, bro, because your name Isaiah Reed Shepard and you the IRS, you the tax collector. You're gonna have to beat somebody out. Only tax you gonna collect, get your ass taxed up out of here if you don't make some shots tonight. You know what I mean? You actually got limited amount of time to to show us that you can play basketball, bro. It's not I'm not I'm not happy, I'm not mad. He played all right, but I'm not happy with the way that he's been to be honest, just to keep it a bean. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with the I'm not happy with the fact that he didn't take no shots in overtime. Let me just say it what it is. Yeah. Ain't no point in trying to be all biblical about it. Ain't no point in trying to get all biblical with it. The dude didn't take no shots in overtime, bro. And I know people blame Tari Eason, for not having a good game. But if you're not on the floor, guess what you can't get blamed for? You can't get blamed for losing when you're not on the floor. Let me tell you who can get blamed for losing. I can tell you who can get blamed for losing. The guy who was on the floor that didn't shoot the daggone ball. That's who could get blamed for losing. The greatest 3-point shooter in the history of basketball could get blamed for losing. Right? Right? But he didn't shoot the ball. He just didn't shoot it, man. He just didn't shoot the ball, man. I can't take it though. I can't take that. I can't take that. And I and here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm not the person who just like, okay, let me just come on and just, talk about every single thing that was bad. But I just want to say those things could be cleaned up. Those because really what I like to say is this is what I would like to see from the guys. This is what I would like to see from the guy. I would like to see Tari be more focused, you know, not so chaotic. I know that's part of your makeup of how you play, but let's get some focused defense. Let's get some fundamental focused defense. Yeah, you're gonna gamble. Yeah, you're gonna dive into passing lanes. You're gonna create some turnovers. You'll play make on defense. Okay, cool. But let's get you focused on defense. Let's make sure that you linked in with the team. Everybody's on a rope, you know, and you're not closing out super hard to where people see you coming and they know that you're finna close out too hard and they just blow right past you. And for Reed Shepard, I'm not saying just be a jacker, but but if you gon' do something, be a jacker. I mean, of everything that you could possibly do, you're gonna get picked on you're gonna get picked on defense. But you're gonna knock some balls loose, pause. You're gonna have a block. Okay, cool. We know that. That's cool. I'm cool with that. But at the same time, what you have to do is you have to be able to you have to be a factor. You have to be a factor on offense, and that's gonna mean that you have to take some shots, bro. When you don't think that you need to take those shots, when it look like you can't get the ball to Kevin Durant, if you can't get the ball to Kevin Durant, call a screen, call a screen. As soon as that screen come, jack it up because that's better than a turnover. Shooting the ball over a screen when you're supposed to be a 59% 3-point shooter is better than a turnover, bro. But right now, I got one of my boys up in here, man. So we're gonna bring up Laro real quick to the stage. What's up with you, Laro?
Hey, yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
What up with you,
What's
family?
going on? Oh man, look, I'm hearing some of your, I'm hearing some of your plans. And that last plan that you had right there, man, I don't know about that, man. Just try to run a screen. If you gotta just jack it up over somebody, just jack it up, man. That's not. Come on, Eve. We gotta have a better offense than that, man. But one thing I would say about the pick and roll, man, that I don't really think that suits anybody in our personnel right now. We got on the team, man. And that's kind of sad to say, but bro, it's the truth. Like, if anybody on that court that I think can do it, it could be KD. I remember a time when KD ran one, and one of the Oklahoma City Thunder tried to go up under it or whatnot, and KD drew the foul or whatever and got some free throws out of it. But I don't really think that fits the skill set of most of the guys on the court, man. Especially the main ball handlers.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, Laro. To be honest, um, the main thing is this right here is that when it comes down to it, you're gonna have to have some kind of action to where guys can get open looks at the goal. And the reason I said what I said about that was if Reed Shepard not gonna get open shots and he gonna
Mm-hmm.
be out there with the ball in his hand late in the game and he can't get the pass off, it's only two things you can do. The first thing you can do is you can call the timeout. You can call the timeout. That's your first option. The
You
second
know,
thing,
his first option is to come up off the peel. That's his
well,
first option.
the thing is they wasn't letting him they wasn't letting him pass the ball. If they're not gonna let him pass the ball, then it ain't really much you can do. So that's why I said that. If they're not gonna let you pass the ball, you can't get the pass off. Then guess what? Hey, what the hell's wrong on my screen? Oh, look, if they're not gonna let you pass the ball and you can't get the ball off, then all you really can do is call for the screen. When the screen comes, shoot over the top of the screen. I rather see you do that, bro, than turn the ball over a bunch of times.
Well, they can help him. His teammates can help him with some off-ball screens or some things like that. But some off-ball screens for KD or either. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say maybe Jabari, but I mean we can probably utilize some things like it's a couple of things that I didn't see. Like LP was kind of working like too much, like in that just too far out at the key, starting out with 22 feet of real estate in front of him and whatnot. I, I I thought he would be better at that, but I don't think I'm ready to just really trust him with all that ball handling right now.
Really?
Um,
You smoked out,
I mean,
Laro.
you say what?
I said you smoked out. You
No,
smoked out on
no,
that.
no, 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 no. Let's not overuse the word trust. I don't like I don't like him when he doing it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a little bit too much. He's effective, but he was more effective when he was getting the ball down low and he was going to work on a much smaller player or whatnot. That's when he
Okay.
was effective. So let me
Okay.
just like that, more effective. He's more effective when he's getting the ball close to the basket.
I can see that. I can see that. Well, let me tell you why I disagree with that. The reason I disagree with that is because Albert Shangoon is to me, and if you watch this, you might see what I'm saying. He's at his best when he get the ball by the 3-point line because what it allows him to do is it allows him to have time to make all his spins and pivots without the man being right in front of him. So when you get the ball at 3-point line and he turned his left shoulder to the man, and then he started dribbling to the right, when the man cut him off, he can make his spin left, and then he can spin back and do his underhand and then or whatever, or he can just come at you full speed and go yam it on you if you're not in position, because he's an underrated athlete. So the reason that's one of his strong suits is actually having the ball at the perimeter because of those pivots and things like that, spin moves that he can make. Now, what happens if he catches the ball in the post is they just bring two people real fast as soon as he dribble. And if they bring two people real fast as soon as he dribble, he's already in the post. Where is he going to go? Well, you run out of real estate. And so when he has more real estate to operate with, he's way more effective. And it makes two people, not just the person that's covering him, it makes two people have to pay attention to him. The guy who's worried about him passing the ball and the guy who's trying to, both guys have to figure out which way is he going to go. So you got the ball. Huh? Go ahead.
One thing I would say about that, right? And it's possible, and you are right. But one thing it is, even though he's comfortable with doing it and he's not turning the ball over, he just doesn't have like that fluidity when he's doing it, whatever. It just kind of looks sometimes like it's just a turnover sometime waiting to happen. Man. And he's not turning the ball over doing that. But he's very good at using his body at like keeping the defenders off or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it just sometimes it just doesn't look as fluid as I would just actually like it to look or whatever, right? That's just aesthetically pleasing. I'm just saying. That's just from a fan watching, guys that got that athleticism and grace or whatnot, right? But he can do it. He can do it. It just doesn't look like
it ain't cute. Ain't nothing sexy about it. Ain't nothing sexy about it, bro. I ain't gonna lie with you. You right about that. Ain't nothing sexy about it. But it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. He's just good at it, man. It's hard to stop. And you know what? Hey, you play ball. Did you play? Even like on the court, just randomly, like sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not no more.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So tell me what's harder? A person who's fundamental, who know how to play basketball, that look good when they play, or that one guy that come out there every now and again and he be hooping and everything he does is ugly as hell, but he still be hitting that shit. Which one is harder to hold?
The guy that's hitting it, we can see that by like one of the top 2-3 players in the league or whatever, right? But it's a difference between how like Shea does it and a difference between how Ant-Man does it, right? It's a difference between how Joker does it and how maybe I don't want to say Giannis, but I guess I will say Giannis as far as like guys like 6'10" and above or whatnot, right? It's just a difference sometimes in how it looks or whatever, but it's still effective for those guys. And it's effective for LP. But that's basically what I meant. It don't look like he just naturally
Yeah, no, you're right.
It kind of look like his coordination kind of shaky at times, man.
It do.
No, so that's basically what I meant by So. But we got to go with what we got right now, man. And we'll see tonight against, and I'm not gonna call Detroit a lesser team, but let's face it, Detroit is not being picked to come out the West this year, or whatnot, right? They probably not even picked to win their own division this year.
Right. No, they're not picked to come out the East, but but here's the thing, but they gonna make a deep playoff run every year because.
But they might this year. They might this year because of certain pieces that might be out or whatever in the Eastern Conference. And I don't know about deep. What do you mean deep? You think second round maybe?
Well, last year they was in the second round. They took New York 5-6 games, didn't they? They took New York like 5 or 6 games last year, and they gave New York all they can handle. And if it wasn't for Jalen Brunson just being a daggone phenom. You know what I mean? They would have beat them. They would have beat them real spill.
Yeah, Quinn did give him some problems or whatever, right? But he was still doing his thing, and he came out. He was still doing his thing, but that is the Eastern Conference, by the way, man. And it's just like these are the games right now. Even though it's early in the season, we can't afford to find out. We gotta they gotta figure something out. We had a couple of days off, and hopefully Ime can scheme some ways to try to get KD the ball without working so hard to get him the ball. Um, I do think KD will probably be going up against one of the top 3, 4 defenders in the league in Asur Thompson tonight. And I want to
Yeah.
see how that looks. I mean, I don't want to see KD out there trying to shake Asur like 1-on-1 or whatever, right? Because we saw what happened at the end of the game.
Yeah. Right.
Last game, that's something I don't want to see. I mean, it's a possibility that we see a different lineup today. What do you think about that?
I hope not.
Or you hope not? You like the
I hope not.
Vigs?
I mean, listen. It's one of those things. I know people who watch basketball, like like, probably people like you, and I know a lot of guys on Greenleaf channel was like, shout out to Greenleaf. What I mean, shout out to all, I like how I like to shout out everybody out, man. People who cook for me, whatever. But a lot of people feel like that double big lineup is sketchy, right? That is sketchy, and in my mind's eye, bro, I don't care about it being sketchy. I care about it being like I always say. Listen to me, Lero. I always say this. In order for you to be elite, you have to be a game breaker. You have to break the league, bro. You have to do something that break the league in order for you to be dominant. You can't follow trends. You can't fit into what look good. You can't worry about what you have to do something that's unusual, something that's abnormal, something that's different than what everybody else is doing. And you have to do something that shakes up the whole infrastructure of the league, right?
What
I've
about
been
if you're
saying
just
this
trying to
like,
win games, though?
well, if you're just trying to win games, then that's not going to get you a championship. Winning games will get you to James Harden level. Winning games will get you to where we was last year.
Okay, so check this out. It was something I kind of brought it up the other day in Greenleaf after the game,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody said something in the chat, and it was basically like Steven Adams played 37 minutes.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
right.
I was looking at it, and it was just kind of like an afterthought. But the next day, when I watched Gil's Arena or whatever, right, I saw Kenya Martin. He said, "Man, Steven Adams in the way," and that was kind of like what I was thinking. Like, man, if we talking about offensive basketball, and KD is saying things like, "Man, offense is gonna win, and offense is gonna win," it's like the Steven Adams, is he in the way in that double big lineup? Because basically what he's doing is he's clogging up the lane, right?
Okay.
So nobody's gonna respect the shot. Nobody's gonna respect anything. He's just really playing a dunker spot or whatever, right? And who gonna be dropping dimes to him?
Well,
We, I
here,
was,
here go the thing though. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what Steven Adams being in the way is crazy work, because if he led your team in rebounds and
Mhm.
LP didn't have to try to get all the rebounds himself, then let's see what Rich Bass got going over here. This look, if Steven Adams led the team in rebounds, and mind you, because I said this. First of all, let me finish this right here. What made Golden State a dynasty was that they was trendy in the fact that they got them players who could shoot the ball, and they say, you know what, we're going to outshoot everybody. We're going to shoot a high percent, but we're not going to just be 5-out spacing. We're going to be motion, everybody moving off screen. Our point guard, our star point guard is going to run off a million screens and shoot threes. That's something. It wasn't to just shooting a lot of threes, because the Rockets been shooting a lot of threes since the 80s and 90s. We've been doing that. We've been doing that since Rudy T days. Rudy T wanted Vernon Maxwell to shoot 8 threes a game, but it was that our point guard is going to run off a lot of screens and get a lot of pin downs and get a lot of backdoor cuts, and then come off, catch the ball. And if he pass it, he gonna reposition and still get the open shot and shoot a three. That's what made Golden. That's what broke the league. The reason why I bring it up is because what we're doing now is something like what I said we needed to do, and it's why I went on every platform that I could talk to everybody, and I said KD need to play the two. Soon as we got him, I said KD need to play the two, and I don't know if you remember that, but I've been pounding this table since the beginning. It's all over my streams. I'm saying KD need to play the two, and the reason why I
but,
knew
but
that was gonna happen, huh?
but that's not his strength though. Playing the two.
Well,
His strength is coming down, getting the ball in rhythm, knocking down open jump shots,
yeah,
knocking down, and one thing he can do. Now this is what KD made it solid at. I mean, and he did it way back at UT. You could see when he was doing it. Man, bro, he can break down any guy that's playing him. That's somewhat, let's say, he can break down fours and fives, right? Maybe some
yeah.
threes. But when you're trying to get him to break down like some of these faster wings or whatever, no, it won't happen. Like he was working too hard when he dribbled the ball off his foot in crunch time, man. Do you really want him doing things like that all the time? I mean, come on, man.
Here's the thing. But listen to this. KD gonna do what KD gonna do regardless. It don't matter. It don't matter. Okay, okay. Let me ask you this: Is Klay Thompson a better ball handler than KD?
No.
Okay. Why is it cool for Klay Thompson to play the two and not KD? Because
Okay,
he's
so
shorter.
no, it's like because one thing about damn, I'm saying it's not playing to his strengths or whatnot. Now we both know who the better player is, like bar none, right? But we're talking about playing up to strengths or whatnot, right?
Okay.
Klay Thompson's strength is shooting and playing defense.
Okay.
So if his strengths are shooting and playing defense, then that offense is gonna go around him shoot. He's not gonna do things like trying to break guys down off the dribble. He never did those things. That never was in his wheelhouse to try to do those things. If he
No, he
tried it,
always had. He always had. He's always done that. He's always
what bro?
had the huh?
What you saying? You saying Klay Thompson was breaking guys down off the
Well,
dribble?
no. Not clear. I'm talking about KD.
Oh, okay.
KD has always put the ball on the ground if you close
Against
out
bigger
on them hard.
guys though. Against
No,
bigger guys.
no, because he did it against smaller guys. Remember, I mean, he been doing it when he came in the league. He was putting the ball on the ground against Shane Battier. Shane Battier is 6'7". Like Kevin Durant was 6'10". When he came in the league, he was 16. So I mean, he's never had a problem putting the ball on the ground. He's never had. He's always had. Listen, who basically coined the phrase "hezzy tween pull up"?
Pull up.
That's yeah, heavy hezzy tween. The hezzy pull up is basically KD's patented move. The hezzy pull up is his patented move. I mean, nobody has ever had a hezzy pull up as deadly as Kevin Durant. But let me touch on the double big lineup because I wanna drive this point home. Okay, this is the point I really need to make. That in that game, we was up solely because of the double big lineup. There was never a point in that game to where Steven Adams wasn't important. He came out, he got the first big block of the game. He doubled back, 2 offensive rebounds back to back that kept us in the game. When OKC was getting out on the fast break and we would come down and miss a shot, Steven Adams would get us the loose ball, would get us the offensive rebound. And he had like 3 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. Those 3 offensive rebounds was the reason we was even in the game, bro. If not for those offensive rebounds, what happens is they take a lead early and never look back. They take a lead early, they never look back, and we are trying to play catch up to the champs all game long. That's why I said it's important when with the double big lineups because it's something that makes a team like OKC. It messes up their rhythm when their plan is to get out in transition and outrun you. Like people say, man, we just gonna outrun you. Yeah, but you're not gonna run me down the court because I'm getting offensive rebound because I got this juggernaut in the paint that won't let you get the ball. And that's what the double big lineup does. That's brute force, brute strength, and nobody can match that brute strength that Steven Adams brings to the game. Nobody in the game can match. There's not a Shaq in the game or nobody that can match his strength right now. And yes, that would be good to have off the bench, but you don't want to play comeback. You want to get out there early, muck up the game, hit people in their mouth early, and make them feel like hopelessness at getting the offensive rebound. And once that hopelessness kick in, now you can get them out of their game plan. And once you get them out of their game plan, it becomes a fair fight. then it's a fair fight, and that's what we was able to get. You know, that's why we was able to go into double overtime because they was out of their game plan until Steven Adams had to go to the bench. Then Shea started to get off. They started to get rebounds. They started to run on us, and then now they getting into their rhythm. Once they got in their rhythm, it was their fight. And now we trying to counter them now. That's why the double big is important. That's why I say stick to it. I mean, I'm not saying play it all game, but you come out and you muck it up and you hit them in their mouth and you get physical with them. You get them out their game, and then if you go to the bench, okay, cool. But Clint Capella didn't look like, he didn't look like preseason Clint Capella at all.
Well, one thing about Clint Capella is this. I'll say this. One thing about Clint Capella is this. He's best served by playing with a true point guard. Say like a Chris Paul. Say like a guy who can pass, guys who know how to get him his touches in the spots that he can or whatnot, right? It's like when I saw one time when Reed Shepard threw the ball and it hit the rim. I'm like, bruh, that's not how you feed the dude. But I mean, you somehow got to give him a pass because he's a second-year player and he really didn't play that much last year. But things like that's supposed to be natural. A natural a natural point guard is gonna make that pass, and it's that's 2 points anytime or whatever, every time. So and Thompson, he doesn't have that in his bag or whatever, right? Not yet, at least. But I mean, and I'm not even saying that we just can't out talent most teams on most nights. But I'm just thinking about the teams that we play because we are in the Western Conference, and every night is going to be every night is going to be a fight, man. We're going to have some good games this year because if we playing against the West, I mean, you might get a pass if you go against Portland.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean,
that's it.
Maybe Sacramento,
Utah.
That's it.
That's it. Everybody else is a fight, buddy. Everybody else is a knockdown, drag out fight.
That's it.
And even Utah, even with Utah, you fighting against Walker Kessler Jr. You fighting against Walker Kessler and Kyle Filipowski and Ace Bailey.
And who did they beat 2 days ago? I forgot, man. I'm sorry, I forget. They beat somebody who was decent a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, I forgot too. Really on the strength. I forgot too on the strength. Let's see. That should be 3.
So man, it's gonna be a fight every night, man. And you know what? I'd be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if 50 wins won the West this year, man. I wouldn't be surprised. 50 wins. It's like that deep. I mean, you shouldn't get a performance like Aaron Gordon did for the Denver Nuggets and put up 50 points. Have Joker do his thing, and have Jamal Murray do his thing, then y'all still lost. I mean, they will play.
Joker didn't do his thing, bro. Joker scored 21 points.
He had a triple-double, though, right?
Yeah, he had a triple-double. 21 points, bro. Come on, bro.
But then you had Aaron Gordon hit an efficient fit. I think he was like, what? He had a ridiculous stat line, man. I want to say he was like 17 for 28 or something like that, bro. I mean, he was very efficient. I mean, it's just like, but playing against that team and Golden State, who's been a nemesis and a thorn in our side for a decade or whatever, right? Yeah. I mean, they know how to win. They know how to win in closing time. They just built like that. So just goes to say, man, it's just like it's going to take some performances that we don't really expect or whatever, right? And it's going to be night in and night out. You got to bring your game. We can't really afford all that stuff about, man, we got to figure out some things to like, because Kevin Durant going to miss 15 games. Bro, we can't do that. We can't do that in the West, man.
He missing 15 games. No, tops. I mean, at least that's the baseline. He going to miss 15 games, bro. It's at the baseline. I mean, it ain't no way around it. Like, if Kevin Durant missed 20 games this year, cool. He need that time off. He deserve it. That's a vacation time. He need that. I wouldn't even want him to not miss 20 games. We just got to win because we had that East Coast that East Coast stretch every year. That's usually like, you know, back to backs. You'll have Brooklyn, then you'll come back. You might have a Brooklyn stretch, then New York, and then you'll have a game off. Then you'll have back to back somewhere. So whenever we had that little stretch, it's gonna be important that Kevin Durant take them days off. I actually had that stretch up until leading to the All-Star break. But my thing was, if he take that off time leading to the All-Star break, then he won't, it'll be like it might be right before the All-Star. Like our real stretch is right during the All-Star break to where he can get him a nice vacation. Our actual stretch where he can get him a good vacation is right leading up into the All-Star break. So he would have to, you know, be hurt or whatever, right leading up into the All-Star, then come back. I think it was like 28th or whatever it was, and then be ready for the
Mhm.
All-Star break. So it would be crazy.
Well, one thing I would say is, I mean, like even if tonight, if the offense looks like, we still can't get KD the ball in the spots or whatnot, it's still not time. I'm not gonna like hit the panic button or whatever, right? I mean, it's like it's been a consensus around the Rocket community or whatever, right? The whole entire Rocket community. 'Cause I was looking at some channels and it's just like they questioning that the Kevin Durant already. Is Kevin Durant a winning player? Man, shut your ass up. It's one game, bro. I
Right.
mean, can KD do it for the Rock? Bro, shut up. It's one game.
Yeah, that's
So I
tough.
mean, I've been seeing that, and it's just like, man, why you pushing the panic button so early? If you want to
Yeah,
push the panic button about anything, you should push it about the fact that how big of a, and I can't believe I'm saying this, how important was Fred VanVleet to this team? Fred VanVleet was to this team. So I don't want to find that out, but I mean, because I thought that we could actually do it without him. But
no, we can, bro. I mean, listen, let me keep it a bean with you, bro. One thing I know
Mhm.
about being a Rocket fan is every game the sky fall. Every game the sky falling. If one person have a bad game, it could be a game that we win. But if one person have a bad game, the sky falling, bro. That's just the nature of being a Houston Rockets fan and wanting to succeed and wanting to feel that championship feeling again, bro. Everything that hold us is a stumbling block in our way, the sky falling. Because I'm I'm on the record, bro. I'm on the record for saying I wasn't giving Fred VanVleet all season long anyway to not play good. Him or Reed Shepard. Neither one of them guys, bro. Neither one of them guys wasn't gonna be like, we get 5 or 6 games in, and I can tell how you playing. I'm already like, okay, that's just what they gonna be. You know what I mean? That's just what they gonna be. Can we win without them or not? And and that's my thing about with the Tari Eason thing. My thing with the Tari Eason thing is I've seen Tari Eason play enough to know how he's supposed to play. And when I seen him have that bad game, okay, he had a bad game. Let me watch and see if that continues. If that continues, okay, cool. Okay, he's not gonna be a part of the winning culture. He might be on the team, but he's not. He gonna be just like Jay Sean Tate. He gonna be a
hey,
person on the team that can play, that's not contributing to winning on the level I expected him to. Just like,
Big Steve.
huh?
I mean, not Big Steve. EF, man,
Mhm.
check this out, bro. EF. You
Yeah,
just
I'm here.
brought his name up, and I probably think you probably, I don't know if you saw this or not. Do you see how his mama coming out talking about it, man?
No, I didn't hear what she said.
She basically what she basically said was, and I think this was like Twitter. What she basically was saying is the Rockets need. I mean, she basically was putting it like Kevin Durant came to the team, and this is a big paraphrase, and it seems like the young talent, like her son, was put on the back burner. Well, I mean, they do kind of play the same position. That's how I'm thinking about it right now,
Right,
right? They
right.
do kind of play the same position or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she kind of she was chirping or whatever. I think it's on Twitter or whatever, right? She just bringing it up, throwing things out there, and I'm not sure if she's his agent or not. I've heard people say that. I hope not, but I mean, that's not going to matter for this season. By the way, if she is his agent, because he can't sign that till to the off season or whatever. So I mean, I don't think by her chirping and saying certain things is gonna help her son or whatever, right? It might help him get into a trade, but and like Rich keep alluding to in the chat, man, bruh. When DFS get, man, I think he better show his worth to the team right now before DFS get back. So he can't afford to be coming out having a game like he had Tuesday. I don't think he can actually afford that. I'm not sure the timeline. I'm not sure if you know what the timeline is on DFS is right now. I mean, do you
No,
know it?
no, I haven't heard what the timeline gonna be, but it's one of them things where it's like, hey, look, like Rich keeps saying, I was gonna address it, but I was letting you get your spiel out. But
Mhm.
we can address this right here. The best lineup is gonna be with DFS. Let me tell you something about that, Rich. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a piece of my mind, Brody. I'm not trying to get older, son. Son. I'm not trying to get older, bro. Y'all want to put these old dudes on the court with Armin Thompson, bro. Y'all want to put these old cats on the court. Let's get Kevin Durant. Let's get Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith hurt. When he come back, how you gonna put an old hurt player on the court with Kevin Durant? And okay. Listen to the logic. This is what I be saying. Y'all gotta listen to the logic y'all be saying. Because I asked with Rich Baby. Rich Baby be having some good points. But let's listen to the logic. The double big lineup, is big. Steven Adams might be in the way. Blah blah blah. KD don't need to be a shooting guard. Blah 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 blah. But you take out. Let's say you take out Steven Adams. You move LP to the center. We throwing in Dorian Finney-Smith. What position is he gonna play?
He's gonna play one of the wing positions that maybe perhaps he's gonna play two and move
Okay.
KD to
So
three. I
so
mean, I don't
so
2 and 3 is kind of interchangeable anyway, right?
right, it
I
is.
mean,
It
yeah.
is. But
So
here's the thing. Dorian Finney-Smith is less better than KD at breaking a man down off the dribble. He's less faster than KD. He's less healthier than KD. It's nothing about Dorian Finney-Smith that is better than KD. With KD at the two, we're gonna say that Dorian Finney-Smith is a better two than Kevin Durant. Come on, bro. It's all in the brain, bro. It don't even make no sense to even assume that Dorian Finney-Smith is going to be a better shooting guard than Kevin Durant. Now, I watched the clips of Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith runs off the screens, backdoor cuts, very good, and finds the open three-point shot very good. I'm not saying that if he was healthy, I wouldn't accept that as a shooting guard, because when me and King was on here and me and King went through the clips, listen, when me and King went through the clips, DFS is data, well, not day to day, but indefinite. Basically, he don't got no timetable. But me and King went through the clips, and I seen Dorian Finney-Smith running off the screens on the backdoor cuts and stuff like that, going baseline to baseline and pop out on the other side for the open three, and then catch and shoot. I said, okay, I can see where he can be a good shooting guard. I can see that. But it's nothing different between Dorian Finney-Smith than Kevin Durant, except Kevin Durant can score from everywhere. Dorian Finney-Smith can only do that. He can only catch and shoot.
well, we just thinking about lineups, and it's not necessarily who's gonna start and who's gonna like bring the ball up. I mean, it's because sometimes different matchups will cause for a different. Sometimes different matchups, different lineups will have to go against who you facing. So sometimes with our lineup, maybe Ime should look at it like, well, I understand we can dominate by being big, right? But
Right.
what advantages do that other team have by putting their best players on the court? Because if we talking about defense, man, if you going out there against shooters with that zone, we can't fuck with with Golden State Warriors right now. With that zone, we couldn't fuck with the Golden State Spurs actually. With that zone, we can't. I mean, any team that can shoot, bro, that zone is not gonna do shit, bro. It ain't gonna do nothing. Let's flat up. With that zone, Is he trying to run with that double big lineup? Because you can't hold anybody one-on-one. If you got a team that can shoot, it's gonna be lights out. You saw how Atlanta did us in the preseason, bro. And that ball was out quick, went down the court, wide open threes, left and right. Like, come on, man. No, I mean, in theory, it'll be good. Like what LP talking about, it's just like it's not like we just have big guys, big tall guys. We have big athletic guys. No, bro. Y'all not getting down the court against guys who run in the. It's not gonna happen, and it doesn't necessarily happen because we don't have the best offense to where we can just say, all right, we're gonna just sit back and zone and we're gonna see what. No, it's too many good teams out here, man. And yeah, everybody don't have a Steph, right?
Right.
Everybody doesn't have a Klay Thompson. I
Or Trey
get it,
Young.
or
Or
Trey
Luka.
Young, but if they shooting wide open in the NBA, they gonna hit that shot at a 38% clip, bro.
Hey, listen.
And who want to be sitting in zone half the game? Do you?
Hey, listen. Look, I don't mind sitting in zone, especially. But the thing is, you can switch zone. You can switch from a 3-2 to a 2-3 easily. So you can switch from a 3-2 if you got shooters on the court, right? And then if they start trying to drive, you switch back to a 3. I mean, to a 2-3. If they start driving, you switch back to a 2-3. Or if they start trying to kick out to the sidelines, to the side corners, then you switch into a 2-3. That's what Ime does. Here's the thing about Ime. Watch what I'm telling you. Ime will switch the zone in the middle of a play. This is why Ime is a great coach, bro. When I be talking about Ime offense, I'm talking about his offense in a vacuum. I'm not talking about his offense, you know, in line with his overall coaching, because Ime's coaching is exceptional in the fact that he'll switch to a zone
Okay,
dead middle of a play.
let me ask you this. What kind of zone would you I'm gonna tell you what kind of zone I would run against the Pistons tonight, right? And I
Boxing
do
one,
that right now.
you'll run a boxing one.
I already like real talk. Like real talk. Like I have a men covering Cade Cunningham all night long, right? And man, y'all just hey man, just do what y'all do, bro. I mean, but it's the NBA. Guys can knock down that shot. Do you really expect Steven Adams to be going out there, jumping out there, and can cover those 3-pointers or whatnot? Because they don't have like a sophisticated offense or whatnot. They run everything through Cade all the time. They don't have those offensive players to do certain things like that. It's just Cade, do your thing. Cade, you just, you know, that's
Yeah,
what
I got
that's who the Pistons are. But I mean, bro. NBA is not really meant for zone, bro. It's not. And I think that
hold on, I think somebody came up. I think DP73 came up, but I can't see his joint. I can't see his joint in my stage. Let me see what's going on. All right, go ahead, talk. Like, I'm listening. I'm trying to see what I was finna bring him up, but I don't see his thing. Oh, okay. He said he didn't pop up. Go ahead.
okay, well, I mean, running zone is not like a thing that most teams actually do. I mean, bro, you act like you got uh LP, all right, he's cool. He's decent athletically or whatnot, right? But man,
Yeah.
it's about when you get that ball off the rim and they just start running. No, it's not gonna work, man. We might get ran out the gym by some teams, man. If you got shooters and rim runners, bro, you gonna get ran out the gym having Steven Adams out there so much, man. But I mean, it's cool. We'll see how it works, like when we play better teams or whatever. And I'm only worried about it when we play the better teams. If we playing a lesser team, I mean, I think we can, I think we'll be okay. But like I said, we playing in the Western Conference, bro, when you don't have that many off nights. It's really no off nights, but you don't really have off nights where you can just like say you're gonna rest guys and do too many things like that, because the West is just so packed and stacked to where you just, I mean, I haven't even did a full rundown of the schedule yet, but like you say, you think we have a good run coming up to the All-Star break, so you think it's going to be tough all the way up until then, right?
It's gonna be a tight run all the way up until pull the schedule down. I think it was like right up until like January the 15th. Like right up until January the 15th or something. It was gonna be you can put it up. 2025, 2026. Okay, let's look at it. I want to go to the Rockets shit. Houston Rockets joint. Let me see. I actually got the whole schedule somewhere. I just don't feel like looking for it. But
Nah, it's all good. You ain't got to look for it. It's easily right here on the internet right here. So, I mean, that's cool.
I'm looking at it right here. Okay. So boom. We Brooklyn, Toronto. Okay, all up in here. Memphis, San Antonio, Milwaukee. Okay, that's tough. Then you got Washington. Then you got Portland, Orlando. Then you got Cleveland, Denver, Phoenix. Okay, that's decent. That's out of the way. That's November. Utah, Sacramento, Phoenix, Dallas, New Orleans. Okay, so that's where it starts to kind of lighten up. But this right here is where your East Coast. Let me see where that East Coast run at. That East Coast run that starts after we leave San Antonio on January the 20th, right? So after January the 20th, we have Philadelphia, Detroit, okay, Memphis, San Antonio. Then they go Atlanta, Dallas, Pacers, Boston, Charlotte, Oklahoma City, LA, Charlotte, New York. You know what I mean? So like once we get up to there, it kind of it get kind of light. But the All-Star game, I wish I could see what the All-Star game was. MNMT. What's that? I don't know what the hell that is. But I think that All-Star game was I want to say was that the 15th NBA TV? Maybe that's the 10th or the 15th. Yeah, so he don't really tell you everything about it. But if I'm right, that run where it's like to the Pacers, Boston, Charlotte, is the All-Star game is on the 9th, 11th or something like that. Maybe they still on the 10th. Maybe it's the All-Star game on the 10th, LA. So he could if he was sitting out from the 16th, New Orleans, San Antonio, 76ers, Detroit, Memphis, San Antonio, that's a couple of games, not 20 games, but that's a nice little couple of weeks right there. That's like 2 weeks of off time. He could squeeze in without us dying, you know, something like that.
Hey, somebody came up?
Nah, nobody came up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see nobody. But I do keep hearing that little bluko. I don't know what that is though. But let's see. We got 15 minutes, man. Let's get into some predictions for tonight, Laro. Let's get into some predictions, man. What you think overall? Who you got to win the game?
Man, come on, man. I had the Rockets winning the game. I mean, I'm not sure what the spread is, but I mean, the spread don't even matter. If we talking about a win or loss, I got the Rockets, man. I don't think that the Pistons can actually handle this team with the Rockets or whatever, right? One thing I am looking forward to with this game is to try to just some improvements from last game. Getting KD the spot the ball in his actual spots where he actually like it, and getting Tari Eason off. I mean, if we can get that going, then I think we could.
Getting Tari Eason off is wow.
I mean, no, that's your man's though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, getting Tari Eason to get out of his head and actually play like an NBA player, like we know he can actually do.
Yeah, nah, I'm with you on that. I mean, but that's on him. See, that's one thing about it. Now, I want to see him play good, but I don't have no desire for him to do nothing but go out there and play good. I'm not, if they would have started him, okay, you smart. You don't start him, okay, you got your reason for not starting him. Okay, I don't have anything against it. But as far as doing something special to accommodate him as far as the offense go, you got to do your part first. You do your part, then we'll do our part, bro. You can't ask me to do nothing when you out there, not getting steals and not getting stops. If you go out there game one and you show your ass, if he and that's the thing. What I was trying to say, the other day we was talking about it. If Tar Eason come out there and he show his raw naked ass on the court, there's nothing nobody can say about Tar Eason except for, man, maybe they should play him. That's all you can say. But if he don't do that and he go out there, he stink up the joint. Now you get him rights to say, hey man, well, this is why you don't play, because you can't focus when we need you to focus. You know what I mean? And then all that stuff comes into play. And that's where I'm kind of like, so for me, I just need you to go out there and play ball, bro. I need you to go out there and have a real live basketball game. Hold on. I need you to go out there and have a real live basketball game. Play a good game of basketball from start to finish. Showcase what your skill level is.
And you know what?
Go ahead.
And you know what, bro? I think that he's more than capable of doing it because we've seen it for the last 3 years or whatnot. He's more than capable of doing it. And I think once all of, the pressure, once he relieves himself of all the pressure that's on him or whatever, pause, right? I think I think he'll get back into his rhythm or whatever, right? All right, you get a little mulligan for the first game or whatnot. I do think that people going a little bit too hard on the guy, but this is what you're asking for. Nobody can force you into signing the contract, guy. But I think he's probably thinking about it and realizing perhaps that it's more into like being like, I gotta prove it.
Yeah. He definitely got to prove it. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about that, because at the end of the day, he had a chance to he had a chance to come out and prove it, Laro. That's just my thing. He had the chance to come out and prove it. He had a chance to come out and see, let everybody see what I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think the Rockets
that he can have on the court.
Because I thought the Rockets potentially. I think the Rockets potentially saw a problem, in probably early negotiations or whatnot. You know how sometimes you might have that starting number, and that what number what number the organization has, right, at paying you, what number that you have as far as what you want. And man, if that number is like 2 for a point, like, man, this dude thinking we finna give him $25 million a year. And we was thinking more like 12 or whatever, right?
Right.
You can't. When a number is so high and your number might be so low, it's just like, man, we can't. It's not going to be no wiggle room right there, right? So, that's probably why they brought in DFS and Josh Okogie. It most likely is, because it's like, bro, if your number is way up here and we don't have you up there, it's like we not going to even be able to meet in the middle, man.
Now, and then what's so killing about it is, Laro, they say that the reports that they leaked all of a sudden randomly, about Tari, is that the Rockets offer him $100 million, I think, for 5 years. 100 million, that's $20 million a year, right? So
yeah.
They offered him $100 million for 5 years. They offered him $20 million, bro. And the only thing I can say is, he wanted the starting position. He wanted a starting spot. And he, maybe he wanted a starting spot. He wanted a bigger role. And it wasn't about the money as much as it was about the role. And they were saying, no, we rather just give you the money rather than have you have other than be obligated to bow down and capitulate our game plan for you. And his thing was, I want a bigger role. That's what I think. And I think that ultimately, and this is just speculation. If that's the case, if the case is I want a bigger role more than I want the bag, it's really nothing that we can say about it other than, hey, I feel you, but it don't work here. It don't, and at that point, it has nothing to do with how good you can be with Armin. It has nothing to do with, whether or not we feel you're a 100 player, because I got the stats that say that according to how he played per minute, he should have been, considered to be a top 100 player over guys who got it.
And check this out. Who did that? Sorry to cut you off. Who did they give that $20 million to? DFS and Josh Okogie, bro. I didn't see any reason to bring. I mean, you could have brought in depth for the team and whatnot, but all right. I think the writing was probably on the wall when they brought those two guys in, man. All right, man. You know, you got a rapport with the team. You've been here. The Rockets have been about, you know, wanting a team friendly deal, but they have been about, keeping their players that they did draft or whatever, right? Up
Right.
until they traded Jalen and they let a malcontent and Cam Whitmore go or whatever, right? But it's just like, all right, bro. I mean, you already have a solidified starting five, but then Fred did go down. But I mean, where you gonna fit in? You gonna start over Fred Van Fleet? Van Fleet? No. You gonna start
Well,
over Twin? No. You gonna start over Jabari? No. You gonna start over KD? No. You gonna start over Al Pete? No. So what were you trying to do? You and your homeboy Jabari, you trying to take his spot or
well,
something? I
well.
don't
No.
think that's gonna happen, bro.
Here go the thing. The thing is Tari is like me. Tari is like me. And I'm saying, if you're not going, if you're not going to start Steven Adams, I'm the only one who bring rebounds like
But that
Steven
was
Adams.
before
Hold on, hold
Fred,
on,
though.
hold on,
That was
hold on.
before Fred, though.
But hold on, but listen. If you're not going to start Steven Adams, I'm the only one that's going to keep the rebounds coming in like Steven Adams. But we didn't even know Steven Adams was going to start. We didn't even know Steven Adams was going to start. Even before Fred went down, we didn't know Steven Adams was going to start. So even with Fred on the court, it was still a possibility that they was be looking for a third person. You see what I'm saying? So they still would have been looking for another person regardless. And if I'm Tari, I'm saying, hey, look, how y'all gonna oh for real. How y'all gonna contend for the rebounds? How y'all gonna account for the rebounds that we was getting last year, and the fact that we led the league in offensive rebounds when we were shooting piss poor, and me and Steven Adams were getting offensive rebounds to keep us in the game, and now all of a sudden, all I'm saying is go ahead and let me get burned so I can keep getting these offensive rebounds, and then y'all don't want to. But let's do this. Who you think on the team gonna have the most assists tonight?
Probably LP.
LP most
Hey,
assists tonight. Do you think
you got
LP
some?
is out? Huh? Go ahead.
You got somebody in the back, bro?
Nah, nobody in the back.
Oh, okay. Because I was just reading the chat and it was talking about on stage or whatever, right? My bad.
Who said on stage?
You probably don't see what we said, what I see, like when we in StreamYards or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me put my phone back. I had to move my phone out the way. I don't see nobody on stage, bro. Whenever I put my phone by me, it start messing up. Let me see what this is.
Okay, it's all good.
Oh no, it don't say on stage, do it? That DFS release. No, nobody on stage. You must have read the wrong thing.
Hey, EF, let me catch this call real quick. I'm gonna hit you right back, all right?
Okay.
Be back. All right.
Yeah, no, I didn't know Steven Adams was gonna start. So it would have been either way it go. It would have been harder for me to sneeze. Oh, so it don't have another one. No. So I mean, I don't see how. What the hell? Oh, okay. No. 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 Yeah. No. It's gonna be about protecting the paint tonight. A 2-3 zone will protect the paint, but here's the thing: when you got a guard that's gonna be probing and trying to get into the teeth of the defense, right? Then it's a little bit tricky just to it's a little bit tricky to come in and say, well, hey, you know, how do we get it going to where we can, how do we get it going to where we can open up the lane or whatever the case may be. Oh, okay. I'm tripping with myself. Um, you know, well, to collapse the lane, you want to be able to collapse the paint when he starts to drive, because if he gets if Cade gets going downhill, he's a force because of the fact that he can pass the ball from all angles, and him being able to pass the ball from all angles is what makes him deadly to begin with, you know. And I think that's gonna be the that's kind of gonna be the hard part. The hard part for me is gonna be, how do you stop Cade from getting to a point to where it's like, uh, we're not able to stop him, we're not able to get him in front of him and collapse the defense, and he get the kickouts, and he getting guys open looks. He getting guys open looks or whatever the case may be. So, that's kind of gonna be different. That's kind of gonna be different. What time is it? Okay. Okay. So, hey, look, I appreciate everybody for pulling up on me, man. Um, I appreciate everybody for pulling up on me, and it's been good, man. I'm
And
finna
this
get
has been
ready to
another
sign off.
exciting edition of Red Alert Rocket Zone.
Appreciate y'all for coming, man.
If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the great things we have coming your way. Want to jump into one of our one-on-one debates? Email us at redalert.rocketzone. I'm your host.
Hey, listen. Sorry about that. Hey, look. Hold on. We got Laro coming back. Let's see what Laro got to say. What you got, Laro? Laro, you muted.
Now, what I'm saying, I don't know what you're playing right now. What you got going on?
Oh, no, I'm finna get ready to drop my little outro video. I didn't know if you was pulling back up or not.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's cool, bro. I mean, you can go ahead and drop it, man. I was just, I said I was gonna come back up. I had just got a phone call real quick. I had to hit him up or whatever. But I mean, it's all good, man. We catch up on the post game or whatever, right? Halftime.
Yeah, well, most likely, so y'all probably jump over there on Green. I know they finna start it up. It should be starting it right now at 7:30. So they probably finna kick it off now. And then I'm coming back tomorrow to do a recap tomorrow. And I should have a pretty big show tomorrow. I should have some some surprising things going on tomorrow, man. So I appreciate you coming, man. I always gotta give you the little old.
Okay, that's the best. Salute, man.
Salute, brother. All right, man. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you in the chat. The burn on me, man. Ridge Base. Salutes to Ridge Base for pulling up on your boy. DP773 pulling up on your boy. Everybody in the chat, chat, man. I appreciate everybody pulling up. High heights. Didn't forget about your high heights. All right. Impressive arts. Appreciate you. Impressive arts. Appreciate everybody. And yeah, finna get out of here, man. It's your boy EF, man, signing off. Stay along, stay alert. Stay tapped in. This Red Alert, we out of here. Oh shit, let me see.
Great things we have coming your way. Want to jump into one of our one-on-one debates? Email us at redalert.rocketzone@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. While you're at it, head over to the website and check out the KG1 merch. And if you want to show support or buy us a coffee, you can send it through Cash App, $26KG1. We truly appreciate your support because every show needs a spark. And for us, you are it. So come back again and blast off with Red Alert Rocket Zone.
Another night, another stat I can't defend. Another hope, our hope never ends.
Every loss feel like deja vu, but every win reminds me why I do. The lights fade, but the passion don't. The city fans got pushed back for the smoke. Even when the shots don't fall, I'm still here to talk that talk. You can't believe I'm still tuned to this tone, still taking off in the rocket zone. All that heat, all the pride, you know what we own. Yeah, welcome home to the red alert zone. We gon' break it down like how to break down the zone. He is an alien man, Mike calling on the phone. Every fan's a debater at heart. Every stance to take is part of the art. Oh, they say the data never lies, but numbers can't feel what's on the heart inside. So we clutch city till we die, even if we hold their feet to the fire. Tuned to this tone, taking off in the rocket zone. All the hate, all the pride, you know what we are. Yeah, welcome home to the red alert zone. No alien man, he is an alien man. He's an alien, that's a man, and he is a Rockies fan. Oh, alien man, calling to talk about the Rockies. Oh, alien man, he's an alien man. Oh man, he just an alien. He's an alien, alien. He's an alien, he's an 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 alien. Oh, 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 Rockets, man. He's an alien, he's a Rockets fan. Who would know more about Rockets than alien man, Area 51 dude. He's an alien. To the red alert zone.